with Brad, Jim, and Will. What have they been watching lately? They're husky, hairy, huggable homos. Movie Bears Podcast.
Hello all and welcome to the Movie Bears Podcast. I'm Brad Harris and each week I'm joined by some of my favorite husky, hairy, huggable homos and friends to review films either current or classic. However, this week we're not reviewing a new film and we're not reviewing a classic film, but we're going to be talking about a whole lot of things because it is the holidays and we're going to be sharing our favorite holiday films, TV shows, whatever comes to mind as we celebrate this time of year, but also to help us celebrate 10 years of the Movie Bears podcast. That's right, a decade of the show. It's gone by in some ways very quickly. I feel like we just started doing this show a couple of months ago. In other ways, it feels like we've been doing it for 50 years. So we'll just call it in the middle. 25 years, I think, is just fine. I do want to introduce you to my co-hosts who are going to be helping us to celebrate the anniversary as well as celebrate the holidays. Jim Pugliafico is with us here in the virtual studio. How's it going, babe?
It's going good. I got my tweet done, and so I'm ready to go. And I'm ready for a special episode. We have some really special people that are going to be joining us. That's why I look forward to these, these shows. I mean, we're going to talk about our favorite Christmas movies. We've done that, before, and we're going to do it again. And I'm looking forward to that. But I'm more looking forward to catching up with a lot of old friends, and I'm excited.
Me too, absolutely. And to help us catch up with those old friends, of course, William Lindis is here. Hey, Will, how are you?
Hey, I'm really excited about this episode. Whenever I think of the holidays, I think of all of the different friends and family who, maybe you haven't spent as much time with during the course of the year, all gathered around like a living room that's slightly too small, kind of bumping in and out of each other's way as you're kind of moving things to and from the kitchen. And I love that this show is going to have that same type of like everybody in, let's just have this chaos going, fun energy. So it's the perfect way to celebrate the holidays and also to celebrate 10 years of us doing this like super fun thing together.
Absolutely agree. And it still blows my mind that we've been doing this for 10 years, but that it has been, and more is on the way. I see a bunch of people have jumped online with us already. We've got some folks in the live chat. Tom says hello, everyone. Hey, Tom. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yep.
And Steve Sosa is here. We haven't seen Steve in a little bit. But hey, Steve.
Steve.
He says, happy holidays, gents. I know. Listen, there is one more person that we need to introduce because it's been 10 years of this show. It would be an absolute travesty if we celebrated a decade of MBP without also celebrating one of the people behind the show that made it possible for several years. He's been back to us on loan several times since leaving as one of the main cast of the Movieverse podcast. So please join me in welcoming Chris Lopez, the sexy voice of the Movie Bears podcast, back to the show. Hey, Chris, how the hell are you?
Hey, Brad. Doing great. And excited. The holidays are almost here. Even more excited to be taking time off this week just before. But it's always great to see friends around the holidays. I don't usually travel for the holidays just because it is so crazy to like see family and stuff like that, especially when they're all like in Florida. So it's usually like a friend's holiday for me. Just hanging around Chicago and seeing the people that I love around here. And now I get to do it virtually too. So, hey, everybody.
Oh my gosh, Chris, it's always such a pleasure when you come back to join us. I mean, it's, there's some magic synergy in these, four squares here. So glad you're here.
This is like a little teleportation machine, or is it telekinesis? I forget what it is, like where we can like all kind of be in the same place.
Yep, definitely. Well, Chris, we are so glad to have you with us. for this very special episode of the Movie Bears podcast. We, of course, as Jim mentioned, are going to be having several surprise guests joining us throughout the evening. But before they get here, I figured this was a great time to talk about some of our favorite holiday movies or TV shows, specials, what have you. So let's go to Will first. Will, very briefly, of course, but if you had to name one favorite holiday piece of media that you enjoy, TV, film, what have you, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean it's hard because there's so many really good options out there from new to classic, but one that I always find myself drawn to, for some strange reason, is 2003's Elf with Will Ferrell. It's sort of become the tradition that that's the movie that we play while setting up the tree, because it threads the needle perfectly. It has the elements that I think are important to a holiday movie, which is that like schmaltz and that sentiment and that feeling, but it also isn't so drowning in it that it like forgets to be fun. And it just feels like it's aged super well with time, maybe minus a couple of things, but for the most part, it's a movie that I can still find joy in every single year. So yeah, Elf for me.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Will. And we'll go right down the line, very rapid fire before any guests show up. Jim, what's your favorite holiday film, TV show, etc.?
Well, the one that always stands out for me is one that I'll get to in a minute. But like, besides all the like the traditional ones, like I guess we can count the original Rudolph. I don't know if we count the original Rudolph as like a movie or not, but
It can be
it's kind of a
TV.
classic that's like close to my heart that we always watch. And the one that I think is my favorite isn't really one that I always watch, but it's one that I fondly think of when I think of Christmas movies. And it's a comedy, and it's called Bad Santa. And this is the Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton. It has Bernie Mac in there. The late Bernie Mac, the late John Ritter is in there. One of his last movies. It's just it's just one that like I just love the style of humor that's in there. Like I don't humor, as we know, like comedy can land kind of weird with people, right? If it's not your style of comedy, it just isn't gonna entertain you or be funny. You just come across as crass. And this has a lot of crass humor in it, but I just love this one. And this one also has a little bit of heart too, snuck in there, which I
Awesome.
really love. Now, I don't know how well this one will hold up, but yeah.
All right,
I mean,
awesome.
in terms of like today's audience.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a divisive movie, I think, but definitely a good choice. All right, Chris, very, very briefly, what is your favorite holiday film, TV, etc.?
So it's not directly holiday, but sort of. And no, it's not Die Hard. It thinking about the movies, I stayed well away, I think, from the classics. I never really like associated like loving watching those as a kid. They were just kind of on, and I was just kind of like, oh, this again. But when I saw Edward Scissorhands for the first time, I just thought it was so magical. And like I said, it's not directly Christmas, but there's a whole snow thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm such a sucker for like just urban fantasy and just like Tim Burton's just cool visions of lots of monsters and fun sorts of things with really good like heart. And just, there's lots of cool like just elements in the movie that really resonated with me at the time, wanting to get out of the suburbs and all that stuff. So a lot to love about that movie for me. And yeah, taking a look at some of the Christmas lists online, I was happy to see that people were including that.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah,
Awesome,
don't
Chris.
you
Great
dare
pick.
worry about it not being enough of a
Yeah.
Christmas movie, because it's definitely firmly a Christmas movie. There are houses with Christmas lights, and yeah, that's a great one.
Indeed. For me, I'll just go very, very quickly here. I just watched this on Disney Plus about a week ago. It's Mickey's A Christmas Carol, the Disney
Yes.
take. Yeah, so good. That version of Scrooge's story with actual Scrooge McDuck really brings me the Christmas feels. So that's a great one, and I'm really glad I got to watch that. So,
What?
oh, oh.
Oh, at the
I
doorbell.
here's
I'll get it.
Yeah, I think someone's at the door. Jim, can you grab that for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
All right, thanks.
Oh, look who it is.
Hey.
We have
Yo.
Bill Harris and Adrian Charlie from the Green Screen of Death.
What?
Can you guys
Yep.
hear me?
Yep,
we
Yeah,
can hear you.
great.
We hear
Yeah.
Oh my god. Nothing but problems, folks. Nothing
Miracle.
but problems.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. How the hell are you guys?
Welcome.
Great.
It's so good to see you guys. Congratulations on 10 years, and thank you very much for the invite. It really means a lot
Oh, thanks.
to be here.
It's awesome seeing you guys again. Like even if it's only through the internet. And I know Adrian, I know you're busy with your streaming stuff and your channel, and that seems to be doing really well. Bill, we don't get to hear enough of you, but I catch you on Twitter rooting for various football teams or whatever. But awesome to see you guys.
You guys are my inspiration for podcasting. You guys are the greatest. You guys kept on going through COVID. Like, you guys are awesome. Like that.
Yeah.
That was a pretty lean period of stuff to watch. You guys still kept on going, and kudos, guys. Kudos.
We had to get super creative with some of our picks during COVID, right? Go back and check the back catalog. You can find the episodes where, like, fuck it, retrospective.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, I know you say we're an inspiration, but you guys are an inspiration to us too. Meeting you guys at film festivals, being able to see you, before COVID happened, it's always such a treat running into you guys in person. I'll settle for interacting online because I have to, but we definitely need to see you guys as soon as possible.
Yes,
Definitely.
please. I'd love that.
You know what I really love though about their Green Screen of Death podcast when they do it? It's like I only have to listen to one show and I can hear their thoughts on like 100 movies.
That's right.
If you want to hear about 100 movies on our show, you got to listen to like 50 shows.
Yeah, the next one will probably have about 350 movies.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Well,
go
hey.
through everything that was released in 2021 and 22.
Yeah.
I'd also very much call out one of my favorite parts of your show is the movie club. Like a very fun, curated, like a monthly or regular, I guess, episodely, classic movie that people should check out. And a lot of times, maybe might be new to their overall radar. So yeah, movie club with Green Screen of Death is such a blast.
Love that as well. I've been introduced to some really cool films as a result of that I'd never even heard of. So kudos to you guys. While we've got you, friends who just inexplicably dropped by to help us celebrate.
How did that happen?
I know, right? We're very, very curious what your favorite holiday film or TV show / special is. So why don't we start with Bill, because we have the same last name, and why not? Bill, if you had to pick one, what is your favorite holiday film or TV special /
every couple of years, Fantastic Fest finds a really wacky, weird film that nobody's heard of, like Miami Connection or something like that. And a couple of years ago, they found a film called Deadly Games: Dial Code Santa Claus.
Whoa!
And,
Whoa!
I think Will's seen it.
Oh, hell yes. Yes.
It came out a year before Home Alone, and it is Home Alone, except for the Joe Pesci character is played by a degenerate store Santa who invades a little child's house, and the little kid is sort of like John Rambo. He
Wow!
It's
Was there any credit given?
No, it came out a year before, but I have a really weird feeling John Hughes didn't see this film. It's really kind of screwed up. And so it's really violent. I think every kid should see it because it's awesome. And let's be honest, it probably should have won the Sight and Sound poll for #1 film of all time. Like, screw John Dielman. It should have been Dial Code Santa Claus.
Dial Code Santa Claus.
Dial Code Santa Claus.
Could I even find that film today, Bill?
It is on 4K Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
Nice. It's had a
My
like
Amazon
in the last
going.
2 or 3 years, like a revitalization, and so I think it's popping up on some streaming platforms. You're actually starting to see it kind of like show up in some indie theaters too. So yeah, it's making the rounds.
That's great. Well, Bill, thank you so much.
I'm totally happy Will had seen it because I thought I was going to be the only guy who had seen it. So that's really cool.
I saw it in theater.
Nice.
Well, Bill, thanks so much for sharing your pick. Let's head on over to Adrian. Adrian, how about for you?
I'm going to pick the one I watched the most recently because I find it gets more profound and more meaningful every time I watch it. It's Scrooged. Now, I know that whole story is like very universal and very timeless. It's kind of designed to be that way. But as I get older, it all just makes so much more sense as I watch it every time. I'm just like, Family Feud stuff, like that hits really close to home. And man, I got like super emotional last time I watched it. I was like, oh man, like I had such a different reaction watching it this time because of like family events that have gone on in the last, few years, whatever. It's been a few years since I've watched it, and I'm like, that's a movie I can really vibe with. It's very funny. A lot of it's very dated. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happens in there that, if people brought their notepad and they could cancel so-and-so for doing
Wouldn't
this
fly
and that.
today.
Yeah, it really wouldn't fly today. But the overall message still stands, and I still really enjoy watching it. So Scrooged is one that
Adrian got emotional in a film. That's
Never.
it was a 2-cat cry. We talk about that on the podcast.
Yep.
How many cats it would take to wipe my tears, and it's about 2 cats to to dry the tears off my face as I'm watching Bill Murray talk about how he wants to live and how he wants to be closer to his brother and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, why is this personally about me? So good. Yeah. So Scrooge is my pick.
It's terrible because I've watched a bunch of films this year and I've become the crier of the podcast. I don't understand why. It's
it
really
happens
strange.
as we mature, Bill.
I don't know. Maybe it was COVID, thoughts about the world and stuff. And man, it's been a weird year.
Oh, goodness. Well, we are so glad that even if it has been a weird year, a lot of crazy is happening, things are super busy this time of year with the holidays, we're just very thankful that you carved some time out to stop by and say hello. Thanks for being here. And
anytime, guys. Anytime.
Want to
give
you
you
go, I need your World Cup pick.
Argentina.
Ooh, Argentina. Yeah.
Okay.
Messi's. It's Messi. He's incredible.
Messi.
Can I still say
Nice.
England?
No.
Oh, break my heart, dude.
Oh, break my heart.
So, guys, real quick before you hurry off to your next holiday gathering, if people want to check out projects or shows that you're associated with, Bill, where would you like to point them?
I'll say the podcast, Green Screen of Death. I guess our next show will be our top 10 of the year / top 20. Adrian still has lots of movies to watch, so I have no idea when that's recording. But it's going to be awesome, as always, and freaking definitive. Letterboxd, Soundjam 69. Not much going on around here. Hope everybody has a good Christmas. You guys are awesome. Keep on trucking.
Thanks, Phil. Awesome.
Thanks, Phil.
Good stuff. And we'll be putting these links and stuff, Jim, if you don't mind.
I got a lot of
putting
typing
those
to
into
do.
the. I'm happy to help.
Okay.
Adrian, Charlie, how about you? What would you like to plug for our listeners?
My Twitter account, it's basically not very active anymore. Adrian _Charlie. I do post a lot more under my Twitch handle, which is the Crow Show, which is a lot of my energy has been focused on Twitch streaming, and I launched a Dead by Daylight focus podcast called Red Rank Podcast, which I've been interviewing people from all over the world, talking about Dead by Daylight, the game that I focus on. It's like a horror game where you run away from killers, and I yell and swear and scream at people and act kind of toxic. And some people are entertained by that. So I've had some really cool conversations with people, including the community manager for the game that happened earlier today. So that was pretty fascinating conversation. So
we're going to unexpectedly pop in sometime. So
yeah,
just to monitor the language.
It is a family website. I got to be careful.
All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for stopping in and making our holidays just a little bit brighter. Good to see you. And we'll definitely look forward to catching up to you fellas down the road.
Yeah, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All the best to you guys. And we love you so much. Take care.
Have a great holiday. Happy New Year, guys. Love you guys.
See you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, guys. Take care. Bye. Oh, man. So great to have those guys stop by and catch up with them. Chris, as they were talking about some of their favorites, it occurred to me to ask you, have you seen Scrooged before?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
What do you think of Scrooged?
I mean, the first thing I think of when I hear Scrooged is, stapling antlers on mice. So
I got to be honest, I'm not sure I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe something we need to fix.
There you go.
I think we do.
And I definitely haven't seen the Code. Was it Code Murder Santa? What is it?
So it's got like a couple of names. I'll send it, but it's like Code Noel. Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, while we were chatting with those guys, we had people chatting in the chat. Imagine that. We've got Derpy here with us, who says 10 years. You say, why? Yes, indeed. 1-0, a whole decade. It's kind of crazy.
Thanks for joining us.
Ryan Rivera is here. Hey, Ryan. Ryan says, Elf does an homage to my favorite specials, being the Rankin Bass stop motion TV specials. Will, I know, Elf is such a special movie to you. I love it too. And Ryan, that's such a great call out that it does reference back. That's super cool. And then we'll do one more of these here. Christy Jewel Roth. Oh my God, Christy. Hey, I know her from my Albuquerque days. Christy says, looking very jolly. Elf is on the top of my list. So, Will, among all of our choices, you seem to have landed on one of the more popular ones. So, good pick.
It feels like it splits the difference. It's both a classic movie at this point and also like a modern movie. So I think
it's
wherever
solid
you fit on the
90s,
Venn
right?
diagram, yeah.
Is it solid 90s?
2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
2000. Okay.
Yep.
If you see the new Will Ferrell movie, he makes a reference to it there in Spirited. So, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
I saw some weird stuff when I was looking up Christmas movies today. There was a Rotten Tomatoes, like top 100 Christmas movies. And there are some movies on there you would not expect to be on there. Tangerine.
I bet. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tangerine is in
That's crazy.
the top 10. Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, so,
it's in my top
Terry
10.
Gilliam's.
Yeah.
Terry Gilliam's Brazil is also on those weird Christmas movies list. I was like, that's
makes
tangential
no sense.
at best.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Is that the door again?
I hear the door again. Jim,
All
you
right,
mind grabbing
hang
the
on.
door
I'll
for
get it.
us?
I got it.
Thank you.
I got it. Hold on. Hang on.
Is it Amazon?
Hey, look. Look who it is.
Oh, my God.
It's Mike Lovins and Will Durr. Mike Lovins from
What?
Yeah, the Real Gay Movie Show, and Will from his God.
It's right there. It's in the.
Geek Will.
That shit. I'm old. Fuck, I can't read that.
It's all good.
Geek Will. There you go. Hey guys,
Hey,
this is a surprise.
How's it going?
Like legit a surprise. It's going
I'm
great.
good.
How are you doing?
Good. Can you guys hear me
Awesome.
okay? You.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hear you just fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Will's
Well,
a pro. He's got this down.
Well, it's so good to see you both. Thanks for dropping in. Do both of you know Chris Lopez?
No, I don't.
Absolutely.
I feel
What's that?
terrible now.
Will's a
Don't.
blurry background.
Chris is one of the OG members of the Movie Bears podcast. He did the show with us for several years. We've had him back many times over the last several years, but he's joining us for this show as well. So, Chris, you're good people. Will, Mike, you're good people. I think all good people should get to know each other. So, yeah.
Everybody, and Will, good to see you.
Oh, yeah.
We interact a little. We don't. It's rare that we're.
I know. I actually physically talking to each other. Yeah, it has not happened at this point. So,
I
no,
see
it's
how
great.
it
This
is.
awesome.
I see how it is.
You know what? You know. Twitter is a weird space. It's
got many
weird.
faces.
It's-
Twitter
yeah.
has many faces. Yeah.
I
other
chat-
body
I
parts as
chat
well.
with a number of people online, but when I
God.
see them in person, it's like I'm just gonna get.
This is like a holiday themed tea party, and our guests have drawn each other's tea.
Sometimes
Oh,
Twitter
goodness.
can. You know.
Oh,
So-
Mike.
Yeah.
Well, happy holidays,
Right back at you.
early.
Hey, Mike,
So-
just a heads up, Mike, we're getting a little bit of lag on you. You may want to try dropping and coming back real quick and see if that helps. Cool. Sweet.
In the meantime,
So this is the joy of doing this live, everybody. When you listen to the audio version of the show, it will be perfect and seamless because Jim is amazing. But when we do it live, sometimes we have some technical difficulties, and that's okay. We work our way through those things. While we're waiting for Mike to come back, Will, if you don't mind, we've just been kind of going around and talking about our favorite holiday films or TV shows. If you had to
I heard.
pick just one, what would yours be?
Okay, so here's the deal. I have a choice, which is debatable, I guess, if it counts as it's a I think I consider it a holiday movie. If not, I have an extra. So mine came out in 2012. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it. It's animated. It's called Rise of the Guardians. So it was the animated movie that came out in 2012. I count it because one of the main characters is Santa Claus, which I will debate still probably the hottest version of Santa Claus. You can't have a naughty and nice tattoo on your forearms and that not be
Rise of
dope.
the Guardians. Is that the one with the weird owl?
No,
that's Guardians of the
not
Owl.
that one. No, not that one.
Very different movie, Jim.
Completely different.
Mike's
movie. No,
back.
This one was. It was basically. It was Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Sandman, the Tooth Fairy, and Jack Frost, like trying to protect kids and stuff like that. It was like a weird, like, oh, the Avengers came out like that year. Let's do our own version of it. But I kind of started watching it again like a year or two ago, and I'm like, I really enjoy this movie for some dumb reason, and it's actually a lot of fun. I'm like, so I watch it this time of year since, you got Santa as the lead in the movie, so you know, I count it. Again, there's the debate about certain movies being Christmas movies.
No,
What?
no debate here. As long as you, the lover of the movie, can tell us why it's a Christmas movie, then we have to
Okay.
accept it. Those are the rules.
Okay. If anything, my
There-
honorable mention would be the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that just came out because that is fantastic and I love that. So,
I saw your review on
You did?
your channel,
Oh,
DK
thank you.
Will. Yeah, good stuff.
Thank
Good
you,
stuff.
thank you.
Mike, welcome back, friend. We were just sharing some favorite Christmas / holiday films or TV shows.
Can we hear
Well,
Mike?
as long as you can hear me now, can you hear me?
We can. Awesome.
Yeah,
Yes, we
breaking up
can.
a little for me,
Yep.
but yeah, I can hear him.
We'll work through it.
What's going on with my setup? Sorry, guys.
No worries. Mike, what is your favorite holiday film or TV show?
I tell you what, Bad Santa, that one up yet, but maybe it's unconventional. I don't know, but that movie so much
Mike, we need to watch together.
for sure.
I've actually never
My
seen
favorite
it.
too. You came in you came in after we talked about ours, but mine was Bad Santa as well.
Very cool.
But I love that movie. Just something about the comedy tone in that movie that really gets me going. But I think like other movies we talked about that are now getting several years old, I'm not sure all the comedy wouldn't get like somebody canceled these days.
Yeah, you think? Just a little bit.
It's not a PC whatsoever, but it's time. Very very edgy.
Yeah. Yep. Super edgy. And, it's got, what's his name? Tony. Help me out, guys.
Cox.
Tony Cox. And,
Yes,
And he's
yes.
great, too. He's a great foil for,
Mhm.
with Billy Bob and that. Yeah.
John Ritter's
Absolutely.
last role.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Really?
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah. Well, great picks, gentlemen. Thanks so much for sharing those with us. I know you've got to move on to your next holiday gathering, probably. But before you do, don't go anywhere yet, because we want our listeners to know where they can check out your shows, projects, whatever you want them to know about. So let's start with D Geek Will. Hey, Will, where can
Hey.
people find you and what you do?
You could mostly find me on my YouTube channel at DGeekWill or just DGeekWill on YouTube. I am slowly crawling to 500 subscribers. I need literally 12 more to get to 500.
Let's drum that up right now. Like, if you're listening
Yeah.
or watching this and you haven't followed at DGeekWill, go over there, do that now. He does, I know you do a lot of different content on your show, but my favorite is your trailer reacts. Because you jump in on those trailers when it's with new DC, new Marvel movie comes out. You have something out like damn near right away with some really fun takes. So I love that.
I've actually, after this, I'm recording. They dropped the Across the Spider-Verse trailers.
I
So
saw
I'm
that.
actually doing
Haven't
that.
watched it yet.
I
have
knew
not-
He
I
knows
have
this
not
shit
watched it.
before I even know it's out there.
It sucks because if I'm traveling and it's just like, oh, I'm away from home for 2 days and they drop 3 trailers. I'm like, that's great. And then it's
feel like
hotel,
this is a-
and then it's hotel reactions, which are always
Yeah.
usually fun. So
I feel like this is a telethon
All
to
right.
get those last 12 subscribers.
Oh,
It's like, oh wait, I got a
Yeah.
pledge.
Yeah.
I got a pledge for you right here.
Nobody leaves until they hit
I
that
appreciate
subscribe button. Matt,
Oh,
smash that
goodness.
subscribe button.
That's
feel
right.
I feel like the guy on the side of the corner asking people to
D
listen to
Geek
my
Will
mixtape.
on YouTube.
Well, we'll definitely include that link in the show notes. Will, thanks so
Awesome,
much.
thank you.
Of course, of course. And Mike, how about for you? Where can people find your stuff?
On Twitter for now. At my podcast is the Real Game Movie, and we're on Instagram, Real Game Movie Show on Instagram. Myself and my co-host Ryan.
Yeah, we're avid listeners also to the Real Gay Movie Show because a lot of times we cover the same movies, right? Your show and our show, so it's interesting to hear, you guys, your take on movies versus ours sometimes.
Yeah, so I know what the right answer is on what to say about it.
No.
Oh,
No
good.
such thing as a right
Never.
answer. The only right
No way.
answer is the one that's in your heart, and I love hearing that from y'all. I love there are so much room out there for good queer focused film podcasts, and I'm glad that you get to be our brothers in arms in this. So Love seeing y'all's trajectory.
You know, to this day, if I can just say this real quick, how I got started, I always refer from the first time that I was a guest talking about. That's what inspired me to. So, congrats on 10 years.
Thank you, Mike. I tell you, it has been so great having you on the show over the years. Really just love seeing you do your thing with Ryan on your show. It's such a treat to tune in and listen. And it's a real honor to us that, we got to spend some time with you before you did your own thing and during. So thank you so much. Will, Mike, thanks so much for helping us to celebrate 10 years and, of course, being part of our holiday bash. Definitely looking to catch up with you guys another time soon. If there's ever film you want to get in on a review with, just let us know.
Love you
Collab.
guys. This has been
Perfect.
awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Brad, the word is collab.
Happy anniversary.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, so great being able to chat with those guys too. It's been a hot minute since we've sat down with either of them, so very cool that they were able to hop on with us. Man, we're already like 40 minutes into the show, and had several people show up already. That's crazy, but definitely.
Well, we got plenty of eggnog left. Come on in.
Yeah.
I've always got plenty of eggnog on hand.
The kind that comes from your body.
Wait, what?
What are you talking
What? Are we?
I'm like- I'm like,
Are
we
we
haven't
in
bought
the
any
after
eggnog,
hours
so
already?
what else
Eggnog
could he
on
be
hand,
talking
and
about?
we have balls on our faces right now.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
Fuzzy
we
balls.
do. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, definitely some great picks from Will and Mike on their holiday specials. We did not review the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, but just real quick for anyone who saw it, did it vibe for you? Did you like it?
100%. It is fun. It's cheesy. It's corny, but like intentionally so. It wants to have fun with you and invites you to have fun. I had a blast with it.
Yeah, I think at the outset I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but it got really good as it went on for me. The further it got into it. So, I got to see my favorite rocket, so I'm good.
I haven't seen it yet, so after hearing this, I'll definitely have to add it to the list. Then. Yeah.
There you go, Chris. That's awesome. Well, hopefully you enjoy it very much. A lot of people have been saving it actually to watch as they got closer to the holidays. So I'm seeing like a whole new round of posts going up on social media that are like, wanted to wait till Christmas, not Thanksgiving, to watch this. This was everything I hoped it would be. So hope you love it. We will see. Well, I guess we could talk a little bit about. Oh!
Again?
Someone else is at the door. What is going on?
Yeah,
tonight?
I'll tell you
This
what,
is
Jim.
crazy.
You got the last one. Let me go check.
Will,
the door
can you
out
get
real
it this
quick.
time?
Yeah. Well, if you could get the door.
I don't know.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Well, check it out. We've got a
Yuletide gay.
Yay.
Take it, Earl. Very nice. Take it home, Haskins.
That is awesome.
I
For
love a
thanks,
good caroler, especially when it's
amazing.
our good friend of the show, Eric Holmes from the Cinematics podcast and Find Your Film podcast. I guess it's still up on YouTube.
Yeah,
So
let me get-
welcome, Eric.
Yeah, it's real cool. Let me step inside real quick. You guys got I heard he's talking
Yeah.
about nog, or maybe
We've
you
got
beer.
eggnog, we got the
we got-
fireplace going.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, God. It's really chilly out there. Really, really chilly. But it's great to see you guys.
Good to see you, Eric. Man, it's been a little while since we've chatted with you. What's going on?
Oh, just drinking nog, Coors Light, doing some caroling with my gremlin friends, and spreading the Christmas cheer. It's really fun. How you guys doing?
We're doing.
We're doing.
We're happy to
getting
have
through
you
the holiday
here.
season.
Eric, you've been a big part of this show because you're one of the people that I think most regularly tunes in to check us out live. We talk quite a bit about like, Hammy says this or Hammy says that. We're talking Hammy, we're talking you, and what we don't usually talk about. We're glad to do it here. Is that you've got a film show of your own, and it's a damn good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Well, I used to do Finder Film, but lately we've merged Finder Film with Cinematics. So we're Bruce and I and joined Greg and Anderson on Cinematics, and we've only been doing that me and Bruce have been on it for like the top of the month for the last couple of months, but lately we've just been doing Finder Film as we always done. Just moved over to Cinematics, and I can't cuss as much, which is really hard because I got a potty mouth. But not this Christmas. Not this Christmas. I got the Yuletide throat right now, ready to take down some nog, and I'm going to stay clean to get Vanilla Homes today.
Oh goodness, Eric, real
Eric,
quick.
Go ahead, babe.
I was just going to say, Eric, do you know Chris? Have you met before?
I don't believe I know him from Movie Bears podcast, and I've seen him on a couple episodes, but we've never met. In fact, the only one of you I've met is William, which was a couple months ago, and that's
right.
That was a wonderful time.
Yes, it was.
I look forward to meeting Brad, Jim, and you, Chris, sometime soon down the road.
Would love that.
Yeah.
That would be
Was
awesome.
it at a film festival?
No, it was. I have one of my office because I work remote for a company. Is based out of Colorado, and Eric is in Colorado, so we were able to find a place to meet up for coffee.
Yeah,
that's great.
Hence the cold weather here. The cold, is so cold, especially this time of night.
Oh goodness. Well, Eric, while we've got you here, we have just been going around talking about some of our favorite holiday films or TV shows. Was very curious if you had to pick just one out of all of them that exist, what would be your favorite holiday film or TV show?
Well, my favorite one would be Gremlins, but my friends are here and I don't want to embarrass them, so
yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with this is a Jim Henson TV movie from 1986 called The Christmas Toy. It's written by Laura Phillips, directed by Eric Till, and it's basically the plot's not too dissimilar from a Toy Story. And this came out it's like about 10 years before Toy Story, give or take a couple years. And the whole idea is that it's the day before Christmas, and there's Rugby the Tiger, and he's the favorite toy of one of the kids. The kids are pretty much nameless in this. All you see is their feet or like lower half of their body, as a lot of Muppet stuff does. Pixar, but anyway, Rugby, he's the favorite toy, and the previous favorite toy is this doll. I think it's Apple. I believe it's Apple. Anyway, it tells Rugby that I was the favorite toy last year, and it was very painful for me when you came along, and now you're the favorite toy. But just letting you know, there's someone else. There's another toy that's going to come around, and they're probably going to be the favorite toy. Rugby is not having it, and he wants to get out by the Christmas tree and ruin Christmas so he can remain the favorite toy. But there's a catch, because unlike in Toy Story, in a Christmas toy, if a human sees a toy walking around, they freeze forever. They eventually die. And we get to see a couple of toys early on freeze, and this is like this movie's like under an hour, and it gets dark real quick. Now, for any parents that might not want their kids to see this, I will spoil a bit. They walk it back a bit, so it's fine. But they do. It's got a great message about friendship, Christmas, and even what it's like to live. Living your best life. There's a little, I believe it's Mew, voiced by Steve Whitmire, who did the voice of Kermit for a lot after Jim Henson died. And Mew, I believe it's Mew. It's a little mouse, little cat toy, and he gets a bunch of crap for, you're not a real toy, you're just a cat toy. And then at the end, they all kind of come together because everyone finds their place. They find the where they want to be in life, and they're comfortable with that, and it's got a great message, definitely ahead of its time, and definitely a lot darker than some people that may have seen it might remember. And it's wonderful, and you can find it on YouTube, free on YouTube.
Well, that sounds really cool. It's also I was looking it up. It's also free on Amazon Prime Video if you have a subscription. So you can get
that's probably a better transfer than the YouTube one I saw recently.
Apple wants $4 to watch it, but if you have a subscription to Amazon Prime, you can watch it.
Not Apple the character, Apple the company. Yeah.
Apple TV.
Because Apple TV. No,
yeah, the Beatles, owned by the Beatles, right?
It's such a
I would just like to technically say it's not Apple asking you for $4. They get 75 cents. It's the company behind the movie's distribution that's getting
sounds
the
amazing. This
$3.75.
This sounds like amazing. It's something that's right up my alley. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely on the same lines as like Emma Daughter's Jug Band Christmas. I don't think it's as good, but this is kind of this is, I guess, less of my favorite, but more like a just pulling something out of pulling something out of the back closet that no one's seen in a while or maybe has heard of. And I think it's definitely worth checking out. And for a lot of people, they're gonna watch it, go, hey, who knows? Maybe this is your new favorite Christmas movie.
Well, this was also Henson Company sort of in their highlight. Like I love this one too for, and around that same time we had a lot of the same talent doing like Fraggle Rock and doing Muppet Show. I mean, we're sort of in the golden age of like Steve Whitmire and David Goles and just some of those different talents like that were doing the Fraggle Rock stuff. So I love this a lot. I love this pick a lot. And I remember too, like just being so like terrified as a kid that they were going to get seen. Like, oh my gosh, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? So yeah, I love this.
Actually, when I saw this as a kid, let's see, I was probably like 10 or so when it came out. I was still pretty young, but I watched this movie, and then ever since then, when I go to my room, I'd knock on the door first, give them a little extra time to get into place because I didn't want to kill any of my toys.
That is amazing. Well, Eric, before you meander off to your next holiday gathering, we wanted to ask you to let our listeners know where they can find your show. And of course, if there are any projects or anything that you want to plug on their, put on their radar, please feel free.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and get my hat on because I'm about to step out here in a second. But before I do that,
I did shovel the walkway for you.
I appreciate that. You put down sand, not salt. That'll ruin your car. But
salt is bad for the environment too.
But oh yeah, you guys, thanks for joining me again. We got I'm on Cinematics, and you can find Cinematics on all the podcast stuff. Recently, I did a interview with Casper Kelly. He did the Adult Swim Yule Log. I'm not going to tell you much about the Adult Swim Yule Log, but check it out because it's really, really cool. And there's some stuff going on there. We get the interviews with that. Greg does a bunch of interviews. There with Greg and Bruce. We got all sorts of movie reviews. Some fun ones coming out soon. And yeah, just basically talking about movie stuff. Not nearly as fun as you guys, but I mean, let's be honest. You guys set a high bar, and one I try to at least reach, but can never clear. But I keep trying.
Coming from a long time, friend of the show, that really means a lot. Thank you, Eric.
Yes, he is. But
absolutely a joy to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us, Eric.
Yeah, it's great. Me and the guys are going to go sing some more
Christmas
carols. So
sing us out.
Yeah, so you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll just walk along.
Happy holidays.
Yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. These guys have been practicing.
Love it. Perfect.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Eric.
Take care, Hammy.
That was wonderful. Bye, Hammy. Oh, wow. Goodness.
We got a lot more than we deserved that time.
If anybody asked me if I would have Gremlins singing Christmas songs to me on my holiday bingo 2022 card, I don't think I would have thought of that.
Nope.
But that was amazing.
That impression was fantastic. I loved it.
So good, and Eric's being very humble. I mean, he and Bruce and Greg do amazing interviews. You know, he mentioned Casper Kelly from Adult Swim's Yule Log, and he also did Too Many Cooks. If anyone remembers when Too Many Cooks was a thing, and Joe Bagos, who recently did the horror Christmas movie that's on Shudder that I forget the name of. So really great interviews over there. You should definitely check out Cinematics.
Yeah, they have a great show for sure. So don't sit on it. If you like film podcasts, and if you're here, I have to assume you do, they definitely have a great one for you to check out. Ryan in the chat says, that was my first time meeting the legendary Hammy.
Mine too.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we talk about Hammy a lot, but I think this is only first or second time on the show.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll have to change that. You know, he's such a delight, and you know, and again, film knowledge just like a deep well.
Indeed. Right. Well, we've had some fun people showing up so far throughout the evening. It's been great kind of hearing from some guests of shows past. I'm very curious, though, what are some other holiday films, TV shows? TV hasn't really been getting a lot of love, but what are some other ones that maybe people are kind of talking about right now that you've heard?
You know, we saw it in chat earlier, but I just want to call out all of the Rankin Bass Christmas specials. And let me rephrase. Okay, maybe not all of them. There were like 12 or 13 of them, and probably about half were really good. The other half less so. But the ones that are really, really good, you know, you've got the animated Frosty the Snowman, you know, the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with Hermie, the elf who wants to be a dentist.
And Bumble.
Santa Claus. In the Bumble, Santa Claus is coming to town, and one of my favorites is The Year Without a Santa Claus, because I really love like Heat Miser, Cold Miser stuff.
Yes.
So the Rankin Bass stuff is so good.
Which is the one where Santa Claus grows up and looks like he starts out looking like Opie, but then he ends up looking like a ginger bear. Like,
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That one's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you like the format of this show, then I would definitely recommend the Pee Wee Herman Christmas special.
Yes.
As people ringing the doorbell and showing up and making cameos. So it is
Charo.
fantastic. Grace
Is that the one with
Jones,
Charo?
like, amazing. Yes.
Singing
Oh,
Wish You a
man.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
That is probably one of my all-time favorite Christmas moments. The Loft Cinema here in Tucson, our indie theater, they do a holiday sing-along every year. Asterisks, because 2 years during COVID they didn't do it, but it's come back, and every time they play Charo singing Feliz Navidad, the place just goes fucking crazy. People love it so much. So definitely, Chris, that's a great one to put out there. So Ryan in chat's going a little quickly, so we'll catch up here. Ryan says Life and Adventures of Santa Claus is a fave. Brad might like. It's a high fantasy Santa origin story. Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
Santa
Ryan.
the Viking. Santa.
Thanks for putting that on the radar. And Tom, speaking of Jim Henson, he says the tribute to Jim Henson when he passed, that was a 12 hanky and ugly cry. Yeah, that was such a touching tribute that they did. Jim Henson touched the lives of so many people, and you know, it's great to see his legacy live on. Though the fact that Fraggle Rock is back, and you know, like it's just so great to see. So thanks for calling that out, Tom. That is good stuff. Well, I think the next thing we're going to talk about is a little. Oh, someone's at the door again. Will, do you? Oh, wow, they're really impatient. Do you mind?
Oh, yeah. I got this.
They barging the door in already.
Well, hey, check it out. It's our good friends from the Comic Book Bears podcast, Bill Zanowitz and Steve Mowry.
Oh my God!
Hello,
Look at those
hello.
sweaters. Those are
Oh,
amazing.
great.
Oh,
y'all,
yes.
y'all got the memo.
Hard to see
What's-
what's mine, but it is a
What is
Cthulhu
that
Christmas.
on?
Oh, mine. It's a
It is a happy
dinosaur.
Cthulhu Christmas.
Mine's a dinosaur.
Nice.
I love them both.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
How cool. Well, welcome, guys. So great of you to stop by on this cold, snowy evening. We've got a fire going in the fireplace. There's a big bowl of spiked eggnog if you'd like something to drink. But while you're settling in, tell us a little bit about how things are going for you guys. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, we're still going strong. We're going to have our last episode of the year next week, which will be somewhat Christmas themed. And then going into the new year, and I know you guys can appreciate this because we both, in terms of podcasts, we're old as sand, approaching the 10-year or past it or whatever. And we're going to do some reformatting for the show. And that's coming into the next year. There's things that we've let go by the wayside. I mean, we're always very proud that we were a very good interview show, and you haven't really pursued that too much. And there's some things we just have to. Every so often, you have to do a little bit of tightening on the wheels. So that's what we're going to be up to next year.
How cool. Can't wait to hear what you guys come up with and get back to. And you have such a great show already. I'm just salivating thinking of
We're doing
possibilities.
our interview quota catch up right now at the end of the year with this show. So, thank you for that.
Oh boy. Steve, how about you? How are things going?
Things are going great. I mean, with obviously with the podcast, we've been I haven't been doing this with the group for 10 years, but we are at our 10-year mark, and we've actually started chalking up with the episode count now. It's kind of crazy for us to think that we've been doing this for almost 260 episodes. I know you guys have been doing way better about getting those numbers up higher.
It's not about numbers or any of that stuff.
But it's amazing how many episodes we've been doing, how many people that we've talked to, how many books we've reviewed. I mean, we're a massive comic book podcast, so 2-3 books per episode. Oh man, that's a lot of comics.
Yeah.
As you can see behind me, I still have a lot to read.
Is that the unread stack?
Most of this that you see is the unread stack.
Wow.
I have a lot of read that's already put away and
Okay.
cataloged.
All right. Well, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome.
We've found that we often lament the fact that we don't have an archivist on the staff, right? To go back and mine stuff out of previous shows. It's insane. I think we calculated it one time, Will, didn't we? How many hours?
Yeah, and I don't know
like
what it was, but we could set it down and play. Basically, you could start listening now, and it would be 2023 before you were done.
Well, let's see. Let's do the math. So this is episode 459. So we'll say 459 episodes times 75 minutes because we usually go an hour and 15. That is, wow, I am not mathing right on this calculator. 34,425
divided by 60.
So divide that by 60. That's 573.75.
Divided by 24.
Divided by 24. That's 24 days.
24 days. So what this is actually is if you were to take our entire catalog right now, break it into 24ths, you've got an advent calendar. Essentially, you could watch it. Now you would have to basically every day of December listen to a full 24 hours of content, but it's there. Speaking of content, though, I mean, I almost don't know whether to ask you guys whether it's your favorite Christmas movie, your favorite Christmas comic book, but like Bill, Steve, like what are your favorite holiday stories?
Well, okay, I'll start with mine. And as you can tell here, I'm still a physical media guy, big time. So, again, we were, going through what our favorites were, and the one I just always return to is the original Miracle on 34th Street. And I had a complicated history with this as a kid because it was one of those movies where I would see like the first 35 minutes and then have to go somewhere. And then the next year I would see like the last 25. It took me years to see the entire film in one shot. But there's something about it. The acting holds up. It's wonderful script. If people don't know, it's about a supposed Kris Kringle who, through a series of events, actually ends up working for Macy's during the Christmas season and affects the lives of various people, including many who worked at the department store. And it just seems to me that it's one of those films that is timeless. I think because the values and the wishes and the emphasis on belief is something that we probably will still be within our culture until the asteroid hits. So that was a cheerful thought.
That got dark.
The Christmas asteroid.
Merry Christmas.
No, like I said, there's a handful of Christmas specials that I do think are evergreens, and Christmas movies. So when you were talking about the specials, I had to make my interjection for Christmas on Sesame Street in the 1978. And it's going to be especially tough this year watching that with
Bob.
Recently lost Bob and lost Louise a little bit earlier. That's I go back to this one as my pick.
Such a great one, Bill. Thank you
Classic.
so much. Yeah. Steve, how about you? If you had to pick one, what would it be?
It wasn't a hard choice, really. I mean, I first saw this in the movie theaters back when it premiered in 1992, and I've watched it every single Christmas since. Most of the time with my family. It was a favorite of my brothers and I. Growing up, we would actually watch it and sneak away at different times on Christmas Eve so we could wrap our presents, bring them down under the tree, and continue watching. So we would just to have that going on throughout the night. But it is Jim Henson's Muppet Christmas Carol, and it is an absolute favorite of mine. I know we've heard from some other guests of yours who have talked about other Henson specials for the holidays, but this one in particular is just cat attack. This one in particular is just a very special movie to me, for my family, as well as just in general. This is the holiday season that I have to watch it. And I actually remember it. And when I was a kid, we got the VHS version that did have the song that The Love Is Gone, that apparently everybody hated for such a long time that they cut it out of the film, and you couldn't get it. Even on DVD, you couldn't get it. Every time they showed it on TV for years. And that's actually one of the more interesting songs there. I mean, the music in this is wonderful. The acting from even Michael Caine is great. I mean, having that type of actor have to mug across from an entire plethora of great Muppet characters is wonderful. But the music is always very important to Muppet films, and the music for this was just amazing. And I'll find myself singing different tidbits throughout the year myself. But everything from the cut song that nobody seemed to like to all of the the different interludes and little tunes in between. Just a wonderful film to watch and sing along to.
Definitely a magical choice. Good one for sure.
Brad, I'm almost feeling like just this episode we're talking a lot about Henson stuff, so I'd like to put in the hat, like, I think we should maybe do a Henson retrospective at some point in the future, because
great idea.
Totally down for that. That's brilliant. Absolutely. Let's do it. Well, Steve and Bill, I know you guys probably have to get going to your next holiday gathering that you're visiting, but before you go, if you would maybe let our listeners know how they can find your show or any projects that you want to plug, Bill, where can people find the Comic Book Bears podcast, first of all? And then second, if there's anything else that you want to put on their radar, go for it.
Yeah, nothing I really want to put on the radar, I guess, apart from the show. And there will be a reactivated comicbookbears.com come January 1st. For a long time, it was just our Libsyn page. And on Facebook, we are Comic Book Bears Podcast. On Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram, we are Comic Book Bears. If you want to write to us, you can do so by sending an email to comicbookbears@gmail.com. And, you can get our show. There is a YouTube channel that you can access the video feeds from our live streams, and the audio episodes are naturally available through Apple Podcasts and Stitcher Radio and most of the other podcatching platforms.
Kick ass. You guys have such a great show, Bill. Thanks so much for letting our listeners know.
You've got to have, again, you're seeing half of our show. I know you've had Brother Brian on before, but for the past 2-3 years almost at this point, we've had Caleb Hub as one of our additional members. You guys should have him on. I think you'd really enjoy having the mouth.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Caleb's delightful. He's had an amazing year too.
Oh yeah.
If you don't mind loaning your trophy cup to us, we'll happily buy it.
Yeah, sure. And there isn't a hair on his face, like it's that Indian blood,
Oh goodness, Steve, how about for you? Any? We got the details on Comic Book Bears, but is there anything you want to plug?
No, Comic Book Bears, obviously, if you love comics, if you love comic book movies, and we talk about those as well, and comic book TV shows, we tend to do a lot of that as well. But yeah, I mean, we're always looking for new suggestions as well. So you can get me on Twitter this way, or you can find me through Facebook through the Comic Book Bears podcast. If you've got any kind of suggestions for comics or graphic novels that you'd like us to talk about, because we find a lot of really great writers and artists that reach out to us with stuff that they're working on that they'd like us to talk about and they'd like us to read. But any listeners, even for big movie fans, they might have an interesting graphic novel or comic series that they've been really wanting to push on someone. So push it on us. We love those things. We love the recommendations. So.
I have a question, because I haven't heard the whole backlog. Y'all have a lot of episodes. I love what I've heard. But have you done anything around a Superman for All Seasons? That's my favorite comic ever.
No, but in the next year, one of our past guests is a massive Superman fan, and I am as well. It's hardcore here.
Just a little Superman fan.
Just a little bit of a DC Comics fan, and that may be something that would work. And I know there are some other Superman touchstones that we have talked about, like For the Man Who Has Everything and the Byrne run, the John Byrne run in the 80s. We have talked about them in the past. But in the new year, there will definitely be a full-on all Superman episodes.
Yes, can't wait.
Stuff. This is the 30-year anniversary of the death of Superman, and of course, next year will be the 30-year anniversary of the reign of the Superman. So it will be.
That's so crazy.
It's
Already
a good Superman
30?
touchstone year.
Is that why mullets came back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And electricity powers, got popular again.
Can't not have those for some reason. Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, congratulations on such a long-running show for you guys as well. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here to help us celebrate our 10-year anniversary and kick off the holiday season. We will see you all hopefully very soon. Take care, guys. Thanks for dropping in.
Thank you, guys. And we'll get very sorry about the doggos.
Thank you.
Take care.
Happy holidays.
Take care.
All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you later. Oh, goodness. Always love having the Comic Book Bears join us. They are amazing.
They are so great. And just again, like as with all of our guests, their area of influence, like all things like both queer creator or comic books, they're just an intense well of knowledge. Like I'm a comic book fan that I've been on the show a couple of times, and I'm just like, oh no, these guys know their shit.
It intimidates me a little bit. Like I'm not a comic expert or anything, but like I know some stuff. But like in the shadow of them, I will just bow and shut up because they know all the things. Definitely a great group of guys. I'm really glad that we were able to have them. Oh,
back to back.
Someone's at the door.
I thought trick or treating was over.
I don't know. Let me just open the door here and see who we've got.
Happy Christmas!
Hey!
Whoa.
Happy holidays!
We're here to
It's the guys. It's the guys from the Big Fat Gay Podcast. Holy crap! Welcome.
Oh, give us some chubby pudding. Sorry.
I'd have some chubby pudding.
Yeah, you probably have had some.
Maybe.
Well,
I have.
No, I have. Yeah.
We've got Michael, Don, and Trevor here with us. So good to see you, fellas. What's going on?
Good to see you too. We just wanted to drop by and say happy holidays and congratulations on an amazing run. I put together this drink and I realized that I wasn't dressed appropriately, so I changed real quick. Is this okay? Or,
you've got that big Nick energy.
Is that the right vibe we're going for?
Yeah,
the right vibe.
I just came wearing bears.
Nice. Love it.
Oh,
love it.
I love wearing bears.
Trevor, I think wins. If we were giving an award, I think Trevor would win it. Though, Trevor, tell us about your delightful attire.
Well, so I have a few different pieces of kind of extra Christmas headgear. These are my antlers, which I can actually kind of like. They're
They
bendable.
can be sad antlers.
Ooh.
Yeah. So depending on the
a nice
vibe.
feature.
They can be erect or flat.
Yeah.
I got some bulbs. I got my green sweater. I have a few different background options, but I chose my tree.
Aw,
nice. Looks nice.
It's very pretty.
And I like the antlers. You can like when it's rutting season, you can like put them down.
It's like we
get
all
into
got the
those
memo.
rutting
wear our
battles.
we donned our gay apparel tonight.
We did. We totally did. Oh man. Well, so good to see you guys. Don, what's going on for you, friend?
Oh, not much. It's been a crazy year. Very exciting year. Big Fat Gay Podcast. We got to go record on location at Bigger Vegas this year for the very first time.
God.
We got to meet
Live
you guys
episode.
in person.
Yeah.
Which was
that
lovely.
was so nice.
I don't know if you saw me, but we floated down the lazy river together late at night.
Yeah.
That
was
I
right
was just
before
going
we all
around on
went home.
infinite loop. So
It was right before we all went home. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before the big COVID outbreak happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Well, it's good to see all of you. We've had a cavalcade of people stopping by over the night, but it feels like y'all are the cherry on top of this holiday cake.
Oh, you're just
No, making it extra special. We do
a
want to
cherry.
ask you though, because we've been asking everybody, if you had to pick one TV show / moment / episode or a movie that embodies the epitome of your holiday longings, love, spirit, whatever you want to call it. Let's hear what those would be. And I want to hear from Trevor first, if that's okay. Trevor,
Okay,
as
that's fine.
as Mr. Festive, what's your pick?
So I have to say, and I'm sure this has probably come up because it is a Christmas standard, a Muppet Christmas Carol. I love a good Christmas Carol adaptation, and there are many, but I think it's the perfect, it's whimsy, but still has that dourness of a Christmas Carol. But you get Muppets. It's spooky but fun. It's Christmassy. It's happy. It's a little sad. It's everything. And that is just like every Christmas Eve, Muppet Christmas Carol. So you can get that one more sleep till Christmas vibe going. And that's, I would say, if I had to keep like every other version of A Christmas Carol gets erased, and there can be only one, it would be Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Wow.
They are countless. We've had a few mentioned on the show tonight too. A few of the others,
Yeah.
Scrooged, and yeah.
Sorry, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Brad's pick. You don't exist anymore.
Erased from time.
If I had one Christmas wish,
In Trevor's
it would be
universe.
but if I had two, we'd also keep Mickey's.
Flintstone's Christmas Carol, also a good choice. Lesser known. It's actually like gets pretty deep for Flintstones and A Christmas Carol adaptation.
Awesome. Trevor, thank you so much. Michael, how about for you? What would you choose?
So I'm a movie guy, and so my first choice was going to be It's a Wonderful Life, because that's one of the few movies that just makes me cry every time I watch it. I absolutely love it. I watched it when I was a kid. However, when you opened it up to TV, I'm a big Futurama fan, and the very first season of Futurama, the very first Christmas episode they did was when they introduced the Santa Claus robot that went bad.
Genius.
And like judged everyone to be naughty. Voiced by John Goodman. Oh my God, it's violent. It's delightful.
It's so
Everybody huddles under the Christmas tree in fear. It brings them all together. It's just fantastic. I especially love the jolly-seeking tow missile. That is
Toe.
Absolutely love it.
The
And
Raytheon
then
product.
if I was going to go sentimental, then It's a Wonderful Life is good too.
I guess if I had to choose a stick,
It's the legendary
Two
classic,
extremes.
whatever.
Oh man, some really strong picks there, Michael. I love it.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
We're definitely gonna have all of these in the show notes because I have a lot of catching up to do with some stuff that I've never
for
seen,
sure.
and I'm very interested in that. Yeah.
There's so
Well, Don,
much.
how about for you? What's your favorite?
I'm like Michael. I had to do one TV, one movie. I can't resist myself.
Greedy.
That's
We're
fair.
greedy.
That's fair.
But I'm a weird guy. I for me, Christmas is a really interesting holiday because of all of the emotions that are there. It's not just a purely bright, sunny, wonderful, lovely time. It's also sort of has this sort of melancholic feel to it. And so for me, the movie choice I have to go with is Edward Scissorhands. For me, it catches this sort of beautiful, crisp, clean feeling of emotion of people coming together and then coming apart, right? And looking back to that time when they were together to bring that warmth. And that bittersweet ending of that movie is just a beautiful, beautiful thing to me. And the Danny Elfman score is Christmas. I could just wear that soundtrack around and stay warm. It'd just be a beautiful thing. And for the TV show, I have to go with the Supernatural Gift of the Magi episode. I love that episode of the two brothers, and it's flashing back to them when they were kids, and the older brother trying to give the younger one a Christmas while their father is off fighting demons and werewolves and stuff, and laying little lies so his little brother will still believe in Christmas and have this holiday that he himself didn't get. And to
A
me,
classic Christmas tale.
It's beautiful. Gift of the Magi. You can't get any more Christmassy than that.
And moments.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Don, thank you so much for sharing your pick with us as well. Guys, I know you're all dressed and ready for holiday gatherings. You're probably on the way to the next one, in the next couple minutes. But before you leave us, for our listeners, if you wouldn't mind doing them a favor and just letting them know, Michael, maybe if you want to take this one, how
I can take
people... Oh, really? Okay. How can people find your show if
Brad
they
can give
want
it
more?
too. I'm just saying.
This has gotten a little off track, but it's true. But
Christmas, that's a thing, right?
Totally. So where can people find the Big Fat Gay Podcast?
The Big Fat Gay Podcast, we are on anywhere that you can find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We also have a fantastic resources page that Trevor put together online where you can find anything to make the life of a fat person easier, anything there. It's really amazing on our website, bigfatgaypod.com. We also, as Don mentioned, we just did a live episode, and we're looking to do more stuff like that and be able to actually show up and like meet people, possibly thinking about putting together an event in Los Angeles, maybe other events, live episode recordings. But until then, we're every week, every Wednesday. We also have a Patreon, which we use just to pay the editor of the show, which at the moment is me, to do the actual work of editing the show. And we have all kinds of extra content there.
Hold on.
What's up?
Editors get paid?
Sorry, Jim.
in this world? What universe are you living
Back in your box, Jim. Back in your box.
I'll catch you up later on that.
Yeah. Please do.
So we're going strong, one episode a week. And how are you guys doing tonight? It's a bit of a marathon at this point. How are you guys holding up?
It's been awesome.
Yeah,
it's been incredible. I mean, we get to see friends face to face that we haven't seen in a long time, unfortunately. I mean, we saw you guys for a little bit, in Vegas, but not as long as we wanted to because, the event was cut short for us at least.
Yeah.
And, we all live in our different corners, and it was just great to see all of our podcast friends tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But if we get out to LA at some point, we've been talking about that. Maybe we can all like meet up with you guys and do like a dual recording or something.
We
Like,
would
maybe we
love
could
that.
collab.
That would be wonderful.
What's the word, Brad?
Collab.
Collab.
I only hear it on porn Twitter, but I guess it applies here too.
And golf videos. Yeah.
Functionally the same thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We would absolutely love that. Keep us posted if you guys end up making it out here. We would absolutely make that happen.
Okay.
Sounds great. And Will, if you can't make it out to LA with us, we'll find a way to like bring you into, and we'll figure it all out.
Absolutely. Well,
Just
patch
airlift.
me in.
Just
Or
There we
yeah,
go.
I'll just pop it.
Manufacture a work reason. Well, come on.
Will, you
There
can
we go.
expense it. It's fine.
We'll talk afterwards. I may have something.
Okay. All right. I like where this is going.
Excellent.
Well, Michael, Don, Trevor, please accept our gratitude for being here, helping us celebrate. Please also let Dan know that we missed him.
Yes.
Love that guy too. You guys have such a phenomenal show. We listen all the time.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll be listening. We rented a cabin 4 hours to the north for the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I think we've got a couple episodes that we need to catch up on. So we'll do that on the drive. It'll be
Long drives are great for that.
Nothing to like build up that steamy sensuality on the way to the cabin than listening to our podcast.
You know,
I love
Put it
the
on the
little
poster.
game that you
Put it
guys
on the
play. What do you
poster.
call it? At the
The
end,
bit?
usually.
At the end of the bit.
Yeah.
The bit, right,
Don
the bit.
Don
Yeah, I
makes
like
all of
that.
those.
Love
He
that.
does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so much
Yeah,
fun.
great, Don. Great. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
All right, fellas. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. We will see you all hopefully in the near future. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh man, great catching
Ow.
up with those guys too. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
So good.
goodness!
Getting to meet all these cool people.
Yes, Chris, that's like one of the like. It's exciting
Yeah.
for me because this is such a jolt of energy. It's hard around the holidays. To stay connected. Like it gets dark so early now, and that's if you have like seasonal affective disorder, like the stress of the holidays, it can weigh on you. But then you just get filled with so many amazing people, just filled with like light and love, and then you get to see people who haven't met before interact with one another, and you're just like, my babies. This was wonderful, and I appreciate so much and love everyone that showed up tonight.
Well said, Will. I totally agree. And like I said, having Chris back on the show now permanently is going to be great.
Surprise news, everybody.
I wish.
Surprise!
That would be a great Christmas gift.
We could talk.
Could we?
Hey, all
want
right.
more.
Let's talk.
What?
So, no longer traveling for work, so yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it could be a thing.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
all right.
I mean, open invite, friend. No kidding. We miss you very much.
There's a
so-
movie coming out that you got,
Yeah.
you've seen, and
If
you
there's
just
a movie
gotta
or
talk
three-
about.
If there's a
Have you
movie or
guys-
52 coming up this next year, like just let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Pinocchio recently, and that blew me away. So
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh
saw
my
that on
God,
Facebook.
Pinocchio. Just to clarify, this is the Guillermo del Toro
Yes.
Tokyo.
Yeah, I think there were 3
Pinocchio.
Tokyo things this year.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, Chris, let us know, man. 1 episode, 2 episode, 52 episodes, whatever it is, we'd love to have you back. So
awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. Well, listen, I know we've had a lot of fun celebrating 10 years of the show. Jim, I agree with you. Chris, we're going to talk about you like you're not here for a second. It's been so great having the OG crew back together. Chris, you are a delight, friend. Thank you for being here. Guys, just in case people want to get in touch with us between now and our next recording, let's tell people how they can find us online. And if there's any, special projects or anything that you want to plug, Chris, please feel free to do so. Where can people interact or find you, Chris?
Well, I'm on Twitter barely. So if you just want to add me on Twitter, you can go ahead. I post very, very rarely, but it's always super high quality stuff. Not really. But actually the project that is and will be taking up a lot of my time is going to be Cake Chicago, which is the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo, which has been dormant for several years with, the whole pandemic thing. But we are trying really, really hard to bring it back this year. And no promises yet, but we are making progress. So hopefully there'll be an announcement coming soon.
Fingers crossed,
Good.
man. That's awesome.
So, cakechicago.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, Chris. Jim, how about you? Where can people find you online?
I'm still on Twitter, believe it or not. You can find me there. Send me a message or tweet at me at JJP Out West. My initials JJP and then Out West. And also find me on Facebook under my name, Jim Pugliafico. And I'm still considering a New Year's resolution of reigniting my Letterboxd.
I co-sign this resolution of you reigniting your Letterboxd, Jim.
That might be my resolution.
If I will send you reminders like every weekend, like if you updated your Letterboxd. I'll be your
Okay.
What is that?
My
Accountability
coach?
buddy?
Yeah.
There you go.
The Duolingo reminder.
Yeah.
You can be his Jiminy ticket.
Yes.
Sebastian J. Cricket.
Sorry. All right. Well, where can people interact with you, friend?
Well, I'll start with Letterboxd actually, because that's a good segue. I do post regularly on Letterboxd. It's a great place to rank, review, make lists of films, and find out what other people think about the movies that you're looking at doing. Just search for William Lindis on there in the member section. You'll be able to follow me there, and I'll follow you back. I'm sort of on Instagram, don't do a lot there. I'm at Whatever Cove there. I do a lot on Facebook because I'm an elder millennial. And you can find me there by searching for William Lindis. And I'm doing a little bit of stuff on TikTok. I did a year ago a collab. It was a stitch, just one of those little random things where I did a Heat Miser, Frost Miser song, and so it's just really fresh in mind. But
love that song.
yeah, look for at the Movie Bear over there on TikTok. And in terms of future projects, just putting this out there, we're getting close to end of year, so we still got a little bit of time. But here in the next few weeks, I'll be dropping my top 25 films of 2022. Super mega cut video, hoping to have that up by the end of the year. They're very beginning of January. So
nice.
Yeah, I can't, I've got to start editing. It's like, holy shit, it's close.
It's a massive mountain,
I look forward to that every year, Will.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Will. I'll tell you my socials in a second, but oh my God, Shalimar's here. We know Shalimar. She lives here in town. She is amazing. Shalimar says, congratulations on 10 years. And there's a little heart symbol, you guys. All thanks, Shalimar.
Thanks for coming on,
you.
Shalimar.
Yeah, good to see you. All right. If you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook. Just look for Brad Harris. I'm the one that likely has Bear, Chub, Chaser, etc. friends with you in common. You can also find me on Letterboxd, as well as Twitter at iBradPro. It's right here on the screen if you can see it. If you can't see it, it's like iPad Pro, but iBradPro. I thought it was clever, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking of the moment, but it works for now. We'll see. Maybe I'll change it later. But there you go. Well, listen, 10 years. That's a long time. I've spent the last 10 years of my life with you guys doing this show. And it's a real holiday treat to me to get all together like this.
Yes.
So Chris, Will, Jim, I know there's so much going on right now with it being the holidays and our personal lives and crazy things going on, but thank you for making the time and being here. I love all of you.
Thank you, babe, for coordinating this. This was a really fun one, and also, thanks to everybody who joined us in the chat. We had a really active chat tonight, and may not have gotten to everything, but we love you all and hope everybody has a great holiday.
That's what we've said since the beginning. We would do this show. We would do this show if it was just us hanging around talking about movies. But the fact that we have such a wide network of people who are both on the show and the people that aren't in the show but are tuning in each week, coming in, saying hi in the comments, sharing their sometimes some facts about movies that we didn't know, just some really good knowledge bombs there in chat. I'm humbled by just knowing that this thing that we do for fun is you're able to be a part of that and help enrich us. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm honored that you asked me back, and then I got to spend this time with you before the holidays. So it was just so good to see your faces, and I got to meet a lot of cool people tonight. So thank you for that opportunity. And I always love hanging out with you guys.
Same here, friend. Oh my gosh, we got an update from Hammy, guys. He continued caroling with his gremlin friends. He says he had to cut it short, though. Apparently, our neighbor, Mrs. Deagle, threw some water at them, and it became a whole thing, and they had to go home.
That's not good.
Yeah,
Mrs.
that's threw water on him and his gremlin friends. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have 80 more gremlins, and it's gonna be the whole Christmas murder spree. And thanks, Mrs. Deagle. Waiting.
And it's do we have to have that every year? Thanks, Mrs. Deagle.
Might be about time to talk to her about the weird things we see her doing in the backyard. I'm just saying.
I'll put it on next door with pictures. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll do it. Stick the Karens on her.
All right, everybody. Well, listen, we will be back next week, relative to when we're recording, with Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and don't invite your gremlins to go see that one.
Yeah, seriously, bad idea. Don't do it.
Not a good double feature.
In the meantime, between now and our next recording, be safe, have fun, happy holidays, everybody, and we'll see y'all later. Take care, folks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.